to the Austrian Grand Prix race review, and what a race that was. I was expecting Mercedes to just fly away with it, and they did, but the safety cars really did hold them back, along with the technical problems that they had, avoiding the curbs and all sorts of things. But anyway, a lot of breakdowns in this race, a lot of drama. I did not expect it. Well, I did kind of. I think we all kind of secretly thought, because the last race was such a long time ago, that there'd be a lot of drama, and there certainly was. Even before the race, Red Bull with their appeal. So they appealed the initial decision with Hamilton not slowing down for yellow flags, and in the end, like, what was it, half an hour before the race actually started, they gave him a penalty with some new footage. But I have to question that, like, how can the stewards miss another camera angle? Surely they have to have all the angles, all of the knowledge, and apparently that yeah, that was a strange one anyway. But so he was started in P5, and the safety cars in the end kind of allowed Hamilton to have a go at Bottas. But I don't know, when you're in equal cars, it's really difficult to pass the car ahead of you, and so it proved the case. So in the end, we didn't really see much Mercedes wheel-to-wheel racing. It was more the action behind that was very entertaining. Red Bull, obviously the second fastest car. I think we all knew that going into the race. Red Bull were going to be second out of the 10 teams. So in the end, the result was Bottas won the race. Was it a fair result that he won the race? I guess, yeah, he was the quicker driver, I guess you could say, but Hamilton, I think, was at quite a few points in the race, he was the fastest driver. Leclerc to get second was quite fortunate, but his pace at the end was really good, so you can't knock him off for that. That was a great performance, considering his teammate, of course, Vettel, having a mistake once again, spinning around, unfortunately. So for Ferrari, that's probably a dream scenario to finish in second, which sounds a bit crazy, but with the pace that they have in that car, I think that's the only result they could have really hoped for. Or actually, I think they would just be happy with, not getting lapped in that race. But of course, no one really got lapped because, well, there was three safety cars, I think, in that race. So yeah, and of course, McLaren getting a podium, Lando Norris in the end getting a podium. A big shock. A massive, massive shock. Well, actually not too much, because he started in third, obviously, but the pace of the McLaren wasn't good enough to get a podium. They needed some luck though, but then you still got to say, putting in the fastest lap of the race at the end to get that position, you gotta be in it to win it, and he did a great job. I think it was 4.8 seconds across the line, wasn't it? So, it could have been a different story, but yeah, congratulations to him, of course. And Perez doing well as well, Racing Point doing well. A lot of breakdowns, a lot of weird things happening, punctures, brake failures, so many retirements. Like, I think only half the field finished the race pretty much. And of course, they're racing there next week, and if Mercedes still have those curb gearbox or whatever problem they had, if it continues, of course, because the next track, we're not going to a different race, it's going to be the same layout, of course, it's just going to be called a different name. They've got to watch out, because who knows if, Albon really should have won that race. And to go back on the incident with him and with Hamilton, I think it's fair to give him a penalty of 5 seconds, because I think if you're, it's a tricky one, but in the end I think that was the right call by the stewards to give him a penalty. Knocking your rival out of the race, that's got to be some sort of punishment, and I think they're appealing it at the moment, but I don't know, it's alright, yeah, should be. I think it will stand, that penalty. And what else? Well, Vettel only P10 in the end. Quite a good result for other drivers as well. And yeah, quite a good few decent results in there. A decent race in the end. DRS, I think the second part of it was a bit too strong in my opinion. So they might want to, you know, reduce the DRS a little bit, or the DRS zone. My only fear for the next race, which is at the same track obviously as we all know, is that we're going to see the Mercedes just go off into the distance and there's not going to be a safety car, or you know, they're not going to be hampered by anything apart from reliability. But as we saw today, they covered it well. So yeah, this season. And oh, I didn't even mention Verstappen with his problems, of course, retiring at the end, no, at the beginning, near the beginning of the race it was. And I think he would have won the race. I think he would have gone for the softs at the end. And unlike Albon, I think, because he obviously last season we saw what he did with Leclerc, so he would have got into the lead of the race. He's taken away that racecraft rustiness that we saw from like China 2018. He's got rid of that ever since then, really, and he's been pretty solid since. So I do think then that we're gonna have a great season, but there's one thing that's stopping this from being a great season, and that is Mercedes. Are they going to dominate? I think they will. Sadly, I have to say, I think they will. But if this race is anything to go by, then we're just gonna hope we get more of these races, like, or more of this race, because yeah, that was such a great race. That was such a great race. But there were some points where you just think, or you just thought, Mercedes could just lap the whole field. You know, Bottas was like 2 seconds clear after 1 lap or 2 laps. And that is really concerning for the opposition. So Ferrari, hopefully they get their upgrade by Hungary, which is only in 2 weeks' time. Or even earlier, maybe for next week as well. They're very slow on the straights. I don't know why they're so slow. It's baffling to me. But the car in the corner seems good. It seems an improvement. And it's just a drag they need to focus on in the engine, and what is going on, I have no idea. But that was the Austrian Grand Prix, pretty much. A very relaxed review, by the way. And well, until next week for, I think it's the Styrian Grand Prix, is that what it's called? Yeah, until then, thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.